What's going on YouTube? Today I wanted to talk about the Retron 5. I wanted to make a video review. So if you don't know what it is or have never heard of it, it's basically a 10-in-1 system that plays Nintendo, Super Nintendo, Genesis, Mega Drive, Famicom, Super Famicom, Game Boy Color, Game Boy Advance, and even Sega Master System games if you happen to have an adapter for it. So is it something you should pick up? Is it worth picking up? Well, let's take a look and hopefully I could help you make a decision on it. So let's get into it. All right, so we have the system. Just want to give a really quick overview. So this is the controller that it comes with. It's garbage. I hate it. Feels cheap. It lags. And this analog stick doesn't feel very fluent at all. So yeah, it's just my opinion, but garbage. Not going to use it. So we have the system. It comes in black and purple or gray and purple. I think this one looks nicer, so I picked this one up. So we have the Game Boy slot, we have the Famicom slot, the NES slot, the Super NES and Super Famicom slot, and we have the Mega Drive and Genesis slots. Here on the side we have the controller ports. You can plug in your old school games, old school controllers. So this is player 2 side, this is player 1. I have Super Nintendo, Nintendo, and Genesis. Here in the back we have the power, we have the HDMI, and we have this SD card slot which comes in handy. So you could go to the Retron 5 website and download updates, which is cool because it constantly is trying to update, so more games are compatible for the system. You can also download the cheats, so you could use cheats on your system for any given game that you might have. So that's pretty much it. Here's the power button. If I didn't mention it, if I did already, I'm sorry. So also one more thing about this SD. You could also download translation patches and you could play import games, because right now this current state, you know, retro games are expensive. Let's be real, they're really expensive. But if you get the import games, especially for Super Famicom and Famicom, they're cheaper. So a quick example, I bought Super Mario RPG for the Super Famicom. I paid 10 bucks for it. I downloaded the translation patch so I know what's going on and I could read the game and everything that's going on in the game, and it works great. If I would have wanted to buy the American version, it's going for about 50 bucks. So I saved a good $40 on it. So yeah, that's pretty much it, just really quick. So right now I just want to get into just a tiny bit of gameplay and just show off some of the features that the system has. So let's get to it. Alright, so we're going to get into some of the features and just show off just a little bit of the gameplay. I'm not trying to stretch this video out to be 17 minutes, 20 minutes, or whatever. So basically what the system does is when you pop in a game, we're going to put in Castlevania Bloodlines for the Genesis. What happens is it'll dump the ROM into the system so you can play it. So technically it's an emulator. I know some people might have a problem with that. Personally, I don't. So we'll go to settings and you have a bunch of filters you could change through. Your preference of whatever you like. I like the scale 2x. I think it looks best personally. But you know, there's a variety of filters. Some look better than others. You can add scan lines if you want. Aspect ratio, you could stretch it, have it to the original 4:3 format. I personally don't like that. I don't like the black bars on the side of the TV. Plus, it'll leave a mark on like a plasma TV, you know, so you don't want that. So we also have, let's see, sound enhancements, bass boost, treble boost. I recommend you put on the sound enhancements and the bass boost. I never noticed, you know, the enhancement until I took it off. And it's a big difference. So it gives it a nice little thump. You could map your controllers, whether you want to use the Retron 5 controller or one of your old school controllers. I know you could take snapshots of in-game footage, put them on the SD card, a bunch of cool stuff. So, as I mentioned before, cheats. So you go to the cheats and you could pick from the list that's right here. Obviously, every game it'll vary, but basically, if you had a Game Genie back in the day, this is it. This is the Game Genie. So once you pick a cheat, you just go back and you can start. So we'll just play just a tiny bit. And I know it's kind of hard to tell, with the guerrilla style video caption that I'm doing, but it looks really nice. But yeah, that's it. Like I said, it looks really nice. Very beautiful, very crisp. So the last thing I want to show off really fast is when I was talking about the translation patches. So I'm going to pop in Super Mario RPG. I'm going to show how that works. So currently I have the patch on, but I'm going to take it off just so I can show you what it looks like with the patch, without the patch. So you go to game specific settings and I'm going to remove the current patch. And I'll also have a link in the description below as far as where to find the translation patches and everything. So, and also I'll have a link in the description below for the updates and the cheats for the Retron 5, so you could, put on your SD card. So hopefully you could see, but the lettering is Japanese. It's all Japanese. So let's put the file, the patch in. I'm just going to have to reset it. But once we reset it, you should be able to see. And hopefully, as you can see, the English text. See? So it makes it a lot easier for people like me that don't know Japanese to be able to play the game. So that's pretty much it. So let's get into my final thoughts. Alright, so here are my final thoughts. Is the system perfect? No, not by any stretch. It has its kinks, the controller for it is horrible. The feel of the system is kind of cheap. It kind of glitches out at times. There's no dust cover for the Game Boy Advance games. But with all that said, I really like it. I really like it. No, I don't like it. I love it. There's so many things that are great about this system, and I highly recommend it. You can play your old school games on HD TV, and they look crisp, they look clean, they look vibrant, and I just think it's wonderful. It's a wonderful system. So if you're into gaming, retro gaming, I highly recommend it. So pick one up as soon as you can, and trust me, you will not regret it. So I appreciate you tuning in and checking out this video. Hopefully you enjoyed it and I helped you make a good decision. So hopefully the decision is to pick one up. So go get one. Thanks for tuning in.